middle.
George is playing with his ball in the garden. Peppa wants to play too.
George, you're doing it all wrong. This is how to catch a ball. Not like this. That's what you do.
What a cheeky little one Peppa is.
George, come back, you little piggy.
Maybe Peppa is teasing George just a bit too much.
Peppa, have you been teasing George?
Not really, Mummy. I was teaching him how to catch.
Really? Oh, well, I know a game that will teach George how to catch. It's called Piggy in the Middle. Peppa, you take the ball and stand over there, and George, you stand over there. Good. You have to throw the ball to each other, and I have to try and catch it. I'm the piggy in the middle.
Mummy is the piggy in the middle. Catch, George.
Oh, missed it.
George has caught the ball.
Hooray! Well done, George. Now you throw the ball to Peppa. Oh, try again. Oh, try again.
George cannot throw the ball past Mummy Pig.
Come on, George. Give the ball to me. Silly George. I can do that too.
Peppa wanted to copy George, but she's too big and has got stuck.
I've got the ball. Peppa, now it's your turn to be piggy. George, catch.
Hooray! Got it. George, you're the piggy. George, catch.
Catch the ball, George.
Catch, George.
George, catch.
Here's the ball, George. Whee!
Oh, dear. Peppa, you shouldn't tease George like that.
Sorry, George.
What's all the noise?
Daddy, George is too little to play piggy in the middle.
Oh, I'm sure he's big enough.
No, he isn't, Daddy. Watch.
Catch it, George.
Hooray!
That's not fair.
Yes, it is. I just gave George a helping hand.
Mummy, can I have a helping hand?
Of course you can, Peppa.
To me, George. Catch, George.
Peppa loves catching the ball. George loves catching the ball. Everyone loves catching the ball.
Mummy Pig at work.
Mummy Pig is working on her computer. Daddy Pig is making soup for lunch.
Daddy, can we go and watch Mummy on her computer?
Yes, as long as you don't disturb her. She has a lot of important work to do today.
Thank you, Daddy.
Mummy Pig has a lot of important work to do.
Mummy, can George and I sit on your lap and watch you work?
Yes, if you both sit quietly.
Peppa and George love to watch Mummy work on the computer.
Mummy, can we play that computer game, Happy Mrs. Chicken?
We can play Happy Mrs. Chicken later, but now I have to work.
Mummy, can we help you work?
No, Peppa, you mustn't touch the computer. And George, you mustn't touch the computer either.
Yes, George. You mustn't do this.
Peppa, stop!
Sorry, Mummy. I was just showing George what not to do.
Oh dear, the computer is not meant to do that.
Daddy Pig! Daddy Pig!
What is it, Mummy Pig?
Daddy Pig, can you mend the computer? I'll finish the lunch while you mend the computer.
Right you are, Mummy Pig, but I'm not very good with these things.
Oh, thank you, Daddy Pig.
Daddy Pig is going to mend the computer.
Maybe if I just switch it off and then switch it on again.
Daddy Pig has mended the computer.
Hooray, Daddy!
Yes, I am a bit of an expert at these things.
Daddy, can we play that computer game, Happy Mrs. Chicken?
Maybe you should ask Mummy Pig.
Mummy said that we can play it later.
Well, that's okay then. But I don't know where the disc is.
Yippee! Now it's my turn.
Now it's my turn.
What on earth is going on? Well, I see the computer is working again.
The playgroup.
Peppa and George are going to the playgroup. It is George's first day.
George, are you looking forward to the playgroup?
Daddy, maybe George is too small to go to my playgroup.
He'll be fine, Peppa. There'll be you and Mr. Dinosaur there to keep him company.
Grrr, dinosaur. But I want to play with the big children, not George and his toy dinosaur.
Oh dear, Peppa doesn't want George to go to her playgroup.
We're here.
Daddy, are you sure George is big enough?
He'll be fine.
All right. He could come.
Bye-bye.
Madame Gazelle looks after the children at the playgroup.
Hello. This is my little brother, George.
Hello, George.
No. I wish I had a little brother like George. Really? Hello, I'm Danny Dog. Is that a dinosaur? It's just a toy dinosaur. Grrr, dinosaur. Brilliant. Dinosaur. Grrr. Ah! Dinosaur. Grrr.
Ah, really scary.
That's brilliant. George is my brother. He's brilliant.
Peppa is proud of her little brother, George.
Shall we show George how we paint pictures?
George is not very good at painting.
Well, maybe you could help him.
Yes, I'm very good. I will show him how to paint a flower. George, today I'm going to teach you how to paint a flower. First, you paint a big circle. No, George, that's the wrong colour. Now you paint the flower's petals. George, that's the wrong shape. Now you paint the stalk of the leaves. Perfect. George, you have done it all wrong.
Now, what do we have here?
I've painted a flower.
That's very good, Peppa. And George has painted a dinosaur.
Grrr. Dinosaur. Brilliant.
I think George and Peppa's pictures should go on the wall.
Hooray!
Peppa, you must be very proud of your little brother.
Yes, I am.
It is home time, and the children's parents are here to pick them up.
Can George come next time?
Yes, and he can paint us another lovely picture. And what will you paint next time, George?
Dinosaur. Grrr.
Oh, another dinosaur picture? Well, maybe you can show us all how to paint a dinosaur.
Brilliant. Yes, brilliant. Brilliant. Shopping.
Peppa and George are going shopping. Peppa and George like shopping. George loves sitting in the trolley. So does Peppa.
Daddy, can I sit in the trolley too?
You're too big for the trolley, Peppa.
Oh,
But you can help with the shopping.
goody.
We've got 4 things on the list.
Tomatoes, spaghetti, onions and fruit.
I'll find it all. This way.
Peppa and George love shopping.
Peppa, first we need tomatoes.
I can see them, Here are the tomatoes, Mummy.
Well done, Peppa.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Now, put them in the trolley.
I found the tomatoes.
Well done, Peppa. Tomatoes. That's one thing off the list. What's next on the list?
Spaghetti. Piggy.
That's right, George, but it's called spaghetti.
Piggy.
Spaghetti is Peppa and George's favourite food.
I wonder where the spaghetti is.
I can see it! This way! Spaghetti! Look, Mummy, here's the spaghetti!
Well done, Peppa. Let's put the spaghetti in the trolley.
Yes, Mummy! Spaghetti! George, it's called spaghetti. Spaghetti.
What's next on the list, Peppa?
Crisps!
Crisps are not on the list.
We have plenty of crisps at home, Peppa.
Have another guess.
I just can't remember.
Can you remember, George?
Dinosaur!
Dinosaur?
George! There aren't any dinosaurs in the supermarket.
No, George. The next thing on the list is onions.
Onions! I remember now. Here they are.
Well done.
1, 2, 3, 4. Onions!
Very good. That's nearly everything on our list.
There's one last thing on the list.
A plant? Is that on the list?
Oh, no, George. The last thing on the list is fruit.
Oh.
Never mind, George. You can choose the fruit. Where is the fruit?
Over there.
There are apples and oranges and bananas and a very big melon.
What fruit shall we have, George? Apples?
Oranges?
Bananas. A melon.
This is the checkout, where all the food is paid for.
Tomatoes, spaghetti, onions, melon, chocolate cake.
Chocolate cake?
Chocolate cake? Is that on the list?
Peppa, did you put the chocolate cake in the trolley?
No, Mummy.
George, did you put the chocolate cake in the trolley?
No.
Well, I didn't put it in.
Then who did?
I thought it might be nice for pudding.
Daddy Pig.
Naughty Daddy.
Sorry, it just looked so delicious.
It does look rather yummy. Oh, let's pretend it was on the list.
Chocolate cake.
Hooray!
Mr. Dinosaur is lost.
George's favourite toy is Mr. Dinosaur.
Dinosaur.
George loves Mr. Dinosaur.
Grrr.
Sometimes George likes to scare Peppa with Mr. Dinosaur.
Grrr. Too scary.
At supper time, Mr. Dinosaur sits next to George.
I beg your pardon? Was that you, George? Or was it Mr. Dinosaur?
Dinosaur.
At bath time, George shares his bath with Mr. Dinosaur.
Good night, Peppa.
Good night, Mummy.
Good night, George. And good night, Mr. Dinosaur.
Grrr.
When George goes to bed, Mr. Dinosaur is tucked up with him. George's favourite game is throwing Mr. Dinosaur up in the air
Whee!
and catching him when he falls back down.
Whee! Whee!
Peppa and Daddy Pig are playing drafts.
I win, Daddy.
Oh, well done, Peppa. George?
George, what's the matter?
Dinosaur.
George, have you lost Mr. Dinosaur?
George has lost Mr. Dinosaur.
Don't worry, George. We'll find Mr. Dinosaur.
It's a job for a detective.
Daddy, what is a detective?
A detective is a very important person who is good at finding things.
Me! I'm good at finding things.
All right, Peppa is the detective.
George, I'm the detective. I will help you find Mr. Dinosaur.
Maybe the detective should ask George some simple questions.
George, where's Mr. Dinosaur?
George does not know where Mr. Dinosaur is.
The detective could try and guess where Mr. Dinosaur might be.
I know where he is. George always has Mr. Dinosaur with him in the bath. So Mr. Dinosaur is in the bath.
Mr. Dinosaur is not in the bath.
Oh. I know where Mr. Dinosaur is. George always has Mr. Dinosaur in his bed at night. See, that's where he is.
Mr. Dinosaur is not in George's bed.
Oh.
Maybe we should try the garden.
Yes, the garden. I was going to say that. Where is Mr. Dinosaur?
Mr. Dinosaur is very hard to find.
Oh, Mr. Dinosaur isn't anywhere.
George, you do love to throw Mr. Dinosaur in the air. I wonder if this time you threw Mr. Dinosaur just a bit too high.
There he is! There he is! I saw him first!
Well done, Peppa. You really are a very good detective.
Dinosaur.
George is so happy to have Mr. Dinosaur back again.
Whee!
Maybe it isn't a good idea to play with dinosaurs near trees.
Dinosaur. The school fete.
Today is the day of the school fete. Peppa loves coming to the fete. Here are Peppa's friends: Candy Cat, Susie Sheep, Danny Dog, Rebecca Rabbit and Pedro Pony.
Hello, everyone. Hello, Peppa. I love the school fete. Me too. What do you like best? The face painting. I like the balloons. I like the bouncy castle the best. I like everything.
Oh, a very good choice, Peppa.
See you later, Peppa. See you later.
George, what do you like best?
Dinosaur.
Oh dear, there aren't any dinosaurs at the fete, George.
Maybe we can get you a dinosaur balloon.
Are you sure they have dinosaur balloons, Daddy Pig?
I'm certain of it.
Can George and I get our faces painted first?
Of course.
Miss Rabbit has painted Peppa's friends as tigers.
There you are, Susie. Now you look like a tiger.
Thank you, Miss Rabbit. Wow. I like your face, Susie. Are you a pussycat? No, I'm a tiger.
Peppa, would you like your face painted?
Yes, please. Can I be an elephant?
Oh dear, I don't know how to do elephants. I can do tigers.
Yes, a tiger, please.
There you are, Peppa. Now you're a tiger.
I'm a tiger.
George, what would you like to be?
Dinosaur. Grrr.
A dinosaur? How about a tiger instead? I'm good at tigers.
I'm a tiger. So am I. Meow. Tigers don't say woof woof. How do you know? Because tigers are big cats. Meow. And I'm a cat. Candy, please can you teach us how to be tigers? Okay. Tigers creep very, very slowly. And then they jump. tigers like to lick themselves clean. But best of all, when tigers are happy, they purr.
Hello, children. My goodness, you're all tigers.
And I'm teaching them to be proper tigers.
What do you little tigers want to do next?
Dinosaur!
That's right. We have to find George a dinosaur balloon.
Let's get you all balloons.
Hooray!
Hello, Madam Gazelle. We'd like some balloons, please.
Certainly. I've got lots of different ones.
Can I have an elephant balloon, please?
Here you are, Peppa.
Can I have a kangaroo? A lion, please. A monkey, please. A parrot, please.
Oh, yes, I've got all those.
Most important of all, we need a dinosaur balloon for George.
Oh, dear. I do not seem to have any dinosaur balloons.
Oh. Don't worry, George. I've got an idea. Could we have 2 of the long balloons, please? Watch this, everybody.
What is Daddy Pig doing with the balloons?
There. Can anyone guess what it is?
Is it a kangaroo?
No. It's a...
Dinosaur.
That's right. A dinosaur.
Daddy Pig has made a balloon dinosaur.
Grrr. Dinosaur. Now the bouncy castle.
Peppa loves bouncing on the bouncy castle. Everyone loves bouncing on the bouncy castle.
This is the best school fete ever. Muddy Puddles.
It is raining today, so Peppa and George cannot play outside.
Daddy, it stopped raining. Can we go out to play?
Ha ha. All right. Run along, you two.
Peppa loves jumping in muddy puddles.
I love Muddy Puddles.
Peppa, if you jump in muddy puddles, you must wear your boots.
Sorry, Mummy.
George likes to jump in muddy puddles too.
George, if you jump in muddy puddles, you must wear your boots.
Peppa likes to look after her little brother, George.
George, let's find some more puddles.
Peppa and George are having a lot of fun. Peppa has found a little puddle. George has found a big puddle.
Look, George. There's a really big puddle.
George wants to jump into the big puddle first.
Stop, George. I must check if it's safe for you. Good. It is safe for you. Sorry, George. It's only bad.
Peppa and George love jumping in muddy puddles.
Come on, George. Let's go and show Daddy.
Goodness me.
Daddy! Guess what we've been doing?
Let me think. Have you been watching television?
No, Daddy.
Have you just had a bath?
No.
I know. You've been jumping in muddy puddles.
Yes, Daddy. We've been jumping in muddy puddles.
Ho, ho. And look at the mess you're in.
Ooh.
Oh, well, it's only mud. Let's clean up quickly before Mummy sees the mess.
Daddy, when we've cleaned up, will you and Mummy come and play too?
Yes, we can all play in the garden.
Peppa and George are wearing their boots. Mummy and Daddy are wearing their boots. Peppa loves jumping up and down in muddy puddles. Everyone loves jumping up and down in muddy puddles.
Oh, Daddy Pig, look at the mess you're in.
It's only mud. Frogs and worms and butterflies.
Peppa and George are helping Grandpa Pig in his garden.
Wow!
What a beautiful butterfly.
Grandpa, why do butterflies like flowers?
They get their food from flowers.
How?
They have very long tongues.
Longer than mine?
Oh, yes. The butterfly's tongue is even longer than yours. She uses it to drink from the flower.
Wow!
Oh, Peppa, the butterfly thinks you're a flower.
I'm not a flower. I'm Peppa Pig. She is so pretty. I want to be a butterfly.
Peppa is playing at being a butterfly.
I'm a little butterfly.
George wants to play too.
George, I'm the butterfly. You have to be something else. I know. You can be a wriggly worm. Look, I'm a butterfly.
Oh dear. George does not want to be a worm. He wants to be a butterfly.
George, when I was a little piggy, I used to like playing at being a worm. It's very easy to be a worm. I'll show you how. First, you have to lie down on the ground. Then you wriggle around. I'm a wriggly worm.
George and Grandpa Pig are having such fun being wriggly worms.
I'm a little butterfly. I'm a little butterfly. Look, I'm a butterfly.
Yes, Peppa, you're a beautiful butterfly.
Grandpa, George, what are you doing?
We are wriggly worms.
I want to be a wriggly worm too. I'm a wriggly worm.
I'm a wriggly worm.
I'm a wiggly worm. I'm a wiggly worm. How do you do? I love you. I'm a wiggly worm.
That was fun. What animal do you want to be now?
I don't know. Look, Grandpa. There's a little frog.
Why don't you play at being frogs?
Frogs are not as pretty as butterflies or as wiggly as worms.
But frogs do play a game you like.
Do frogs play dolls' houses?
Oh, silly Peppa. What's your favourite game?
Jumping in muddy puddles.
Yes, frogs love jumping in muddy puddles.
Yes, George. Let's play frogs. I'm a little froggy. I'm a little froggy.
The froggies have found a nice big muddy puddle to play in. Peppa and George love jumping up and down in muddy puddles. Everyone loves jumping up and down in muddy puddles.
Butterflies and worms are very nice, but I like frogs the best. The Tooth Fairy.
Peppa and George are having their favourite food, spaghetti.
What a lot of noise!
Finished!
Now we'll have a bit of quiet.
What's that?
It's a tooth.
Where did that come from?
Peppa, maybe you should look in the mirror.
Oh. It's my tooth. It's fallen out.
Don't worry, Peppa. It's just a milk tooth. They're meant to fall out.
Will I grow a new one, Mummy?
Yes, you will, Peppa. It also means the Tooth Fairy will be paying you a visit.
Tooth Fairy?
Yes, the Tooth Fairy. If you put the tooth under your pillow tonight, the Tooth Fairy will come. The Tooth Fairy will take the tooth, and in its place, she will leave a shiny coin.
When I grow up, I want to be a tooth fairy.
Oh, and what would you like to be when you grow up, George?
Dinosaur.
A dinosaur.
Quick, George. It's bedtime. We don't want to miss the tooth fairy.
Before going to bed, Peppa and George brush their teeth.
Peppa, what are you doing?
I'm brushing my tooth so it's nice and clean for the tooth fairy.
Peppa cannot wait to get into bed. Peppa is putting her tooth under the pillow for the Tooth Fairy.
Good night, Peppa and George.
Good night, Mummy. Good night, Daddy.
Good night, my little piggies.
George, I'm not going to sleep. Let's both stay awake all night and see the tooth fairy. This tooth fairy is very late.
The Tooth Fairy is taking a long time to arrive.
Where is that tooth fairy?
What is that noise? Is it the Tooth Fairy?
George, can you hear something? Oh, George.
Oh, the noise is George. He was so tired he has fallen asleep.
George is not very good at staying awake, but I am. I'm going to stay awake and see the tooth fairy. I'm not going to sleep.
The Tooth Fairy has arrived. But Peppa is asleep.
Hello, Peppa. Would you like this coin in return for your tooth? What a nice clean tooth. Thank you, Peppa. Good night.
Peppa, George, wake up. It's morning.
What? wasn't asleep.
Did the tooth fairy come?
No.
Let's take a look under your pillow.
Oh, look, Peppa. The tooth fairy has been and she's left you a coin.
Hooray!
You fell asleep, didn't you?
Well, maybe I fell asleep just for a little bit. Next time I will stay awake and I will see the tooth fairy. Lunch.
Peppa and George have come to Granny Pig and Grandpa Pig's house for lunch.
Granny Pig! Granny Pig!
Hello, my little ones. Would you like to pick some vegetables from the garden for lunch?
Yes, please. Grandpa Pig! Papa Egg!
Hello, Peppa, George.
This is Grandpa Pig's vegetable garden. He has grown all these vegetables himself.
What's this?
Dinosaur.
A dinosaur? Ho, 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 ho. Let's choose some vegetables for lunch. Peppa, do you like tomatoes?
Yes, Grandpa Pig.
George, do you like tomatoes?
No. George does not like tomatoes.
Oh dear. Do you both like lettuce?
Yes, Grandpa Pig. No. George does not like lettuce.
Oh dear. I must have something that George likes. Do you like cucumber?
Yuck.
George does not like cucumbers, and he does not like lettuce, and he does not like tomatoes.
Well, George, what vegetable do you like?
Chocolate cake. Silly George. Chocolate cake isn't a vegetable.
Maybe George will like the vegetables when they're made into a lovely salad.
Oh, lovely fresh tomatoes, lettuce and cucumber. First, we have to wash them.
Peppa and George help Granny Pig wash the vegetables.
Maybe that's enough washing.
Granny Pig has made the tomatoes, lettuce and cucumber into a salad.
Grandpa Pig, can you call everyone to lunch?
Lunch!
Granny Pig has made pizza for lunch.
And here's some salad, made with Grandpa's tomatoes, lettuce and cucumber.
Tuck in, everyone.
George has eaten his pizza, but George does not like the tomatoes, or the lettuce, or the cucumber.
Oh dear, George, don't you like the salad?
No.
George, just try a little bit of this lovely tomato.
Yuck.
George, this is cucumber. Grandpa Pig grew it in his garden.
Try a piece of lettuce, George. It's yummy.
Oh, now, George. Look what I'm doing. Now it's a dinosaur.
Dinosaur.
George loves dinosaurs. George is eating the tomatoes, lettuce and cucumber.
Well done, George.
Would you like some more, George?
Full.
George, are you too full to eat any more tomatoes, lettuce or cucumber?
George is too full to eat any more.
George, are you too full to eat anything more?
George is too full to eat anything more.
Oh, well, then you won't want any of this chocolate cake.
Chocolate cake.
My word! George seems to have got his appetite back.
Hiccups.
Peppa, George, Mummy and Daddy are having breakfast. It is a lovely sunny day, and Peppa and George can't wait to go into the garden to play.
Mummy, please can we go out to play?
You can go out to play when you finish your breakfast.
George, don't drink your juice too quickly.
George drank his juice too quickly, and now he has hiccups.
Can we go out to play now, Mummy?
Not while George has hiccups.
But George's hiccups have gone, Mummy. Haven't they, George?
Oh, all right, you can go out and play, but look after George.
Peppa and George love playing in the garden.
George, I'm going to throw the ball, and then you have to catch it. George, please stop hiccuping. George! Now you throw the ball to me, and I have to catch it. George!
Oh dear, George's hiccups are spoiling the game.
George, I know how to cure hiccups. You have to do what I say. Rub the top of your head and rub your tummy. Good. Now your hiccups have gone.
Peppa's cure for hiccups doesn't seem to have worked.
George, you have done it all wrong. I know a better way to cure hiccups. First, jump up and down 3 times on one leg. Now, wave your arms up and down and stick your tongue out. And now, close your eyes and turn around quickly 3 times.
Peppa's new cure hasn't worked either. George still has hiccups.
I know. To cure hiccups, the ill Piggy must be given a shock. George, I'm going to scare you, but you must remember, it's only a game and it'll stop your hiccups. Remember, this is just pretend scaring.
Peppa, you mustn't play so roughly with George. He's only little.
Sorry, Mummy. I was just trying to stop George's hiccups.
George's hiccups have gone. Here comes Daddy Pig with 2 beakers of juice.
George, if you drink too quickly, you will get hiccups again.
I'm not as little as George. I can drink juice as quickly as I want to.